Hi everyone, welcome to Score App's Setup and Score session. My name is Leigh. I'm the head of customer success at Score App. I've got my colleague Sarah with me as well. Sarah's giving a wave. And we work as part of our support team to help you get your scorecard set up and running and working well for you and your business. So in today's session, we're going to go from start to finish in terms of creating a scorecard and launching it. So feel free to ask any questions along the way in terms, it could be technical, it could be to do with the concept. We're happy to help with any questions. So just you can unmute, use the chat as we go along. What would be really good while we're waiting for everybody to join is just to put a little comment in the chat, just to explain where you are in the process at the moment. Like, have you started? Are you building it? Have you launched it, for example? Just so that I can get a nice feel for where everybody is at the moment. Hi, Michael. You're ready to launch. Fantastic. Sally, you've just signed up. Hello. Hi, Karen, just starting. Hi, Samantha, not started yet. Hi, Rhonda, just signed up. Welcome to Score App. Hi, Michelle, you've just started. Hi, Jan. Hi, Alistair. Built first, got a couple of niggles, then launching next week. Oh, okay, excellent. Alison, hello. Yes, just starting. Need help with domain linking. We can certainly help with that. Hi, Simon. Copied a template and launched it. And you have a lead. That is fantastic. Hi, Francois. So it's just started halfway with scorecard. Oh, you're reading the book. Fantastic. Hi, Michael, you've built your scorecard and you're yet to launch it. So made good progress. Fantastic. So thank you for that, everyone. So we're going to start the session. The first place we're going to start with is talking about the concept of the scorecard. So it's really, really important to get that right before we head into the platform and start to build it. So the concepts should be derived around that common desire that your target audience are trying to achieve, and that will make the scorecard of mutual value, because not only will you be able to collect valuable data about your target audience, but you'll also be able to present some value to them. So if they've got a common desire or goal, and at the end of completing the quiz or the scorecard, they get their score about how they're performing against that desire. They get that clarity of knowing exactly where they are now. And then you can showcase all your great advice and tips that will help them to continue to reach that goal. So it's that mutual sort of value. You get the lead, they get some really great content and some information for them to continue on their journey. So we've got some methods of helping you sort of just confirm or bring up some ideas for that concept, which I'm going to go through now. So the concept is a little bit different to the headline. So the concept is the idea, and then we need to transfer that into a headline that's going to clearly communicate what it is, who it's for, and act as that hook to encourage people to take your quiz. So ones that work really well is where it's based on that desire or goal, and it's generally just the scorecard name. So the key person of influence scorecard, the high performing team scorecard. You could have the successful event scorecard. You could have the business growth scorecard. So it's just actually saying what it is, and that desire is clearly communicated because the desire is to be the key person of influence or to have a high performing team, for example. We could also flip that as well. So instead of looking at that desire, you're just looking at it the other way. And what are they actually avoiding? What is that pain? So the examples that we have on the screen are avoid being hacked, fitness injury prevention scorecard, weight gain prevention, avoid burnout. So the desires are there. They want to be successful without burning themselves out. They want to be healthy. And it's just a different way of acting as a hook to encourage people to take that quiz. So there's two different strategies there for helping you transfer that into a headline. We've then got a couple of more. So are you ready works really well for brainstorming ideas. So are you ready to run a marathon? Are you ready to quit smoking? Are you ready to grow your business? Are you ready to start a business? Are you ready to increase your confidence? There's loads of different use cases that you could brainstorm using that headline. The fourth strategy would be topical or seasonal, and each scorecard package, so from the starter, you will have that includes 2 live scorecards. So you could have your main scorecard, and you could also have one that's topical or seasonal. January, we've seen lots of, are you ready for 2023? Is your business ready for 2023? Get your health ready for 2023. So there's lots of ideas there as well. It may be that you have a webinar coming up, and you could use ScoreApp to develop a event registration scorecard. And we actually have one of those templates on our platform if that was relevant. It may be that there's something trendy or newsworthy as well. And the very final idea to help you with your scorecards before we jump into the platform is the highest scoring personality or category. So it may be that you don't want to give somebody a score, and in fact, you want to give them an outcome. So it may be that, are you an introvert or an extrovert? How organized an event planner are you? Are you ad hoc? Are you mega organized? So you can present an actual outcome. We do have one template on the platform, so it's called the Budgeting Personality Quiz, that does give an outcome. So if that was of interest, check that one out. The way that we set up the scoring is slightly differently for that one as well, so that will help, and I'm happy to talk through how to set that up on the platform if anyone would like to do that as well. So if I know lots of you have already developed your scorecards, some of you are starting, but given what we've just been through, if you could maybe just put in the comment your idea for your concept, or if you've already got that into a headline, if you could pop that in the chat, that would be great. It just helps bring up some ideas and just segment our thinking in terms of concepts and headlines. So we've got, are you ready to migrate your databases to the cloud? So very targeted, but that says what it absolutely does. So health risk for chronic disease. So that could be, avoid health risks, or that one I think would just need a little bit more sort of honing down, but it's a good concept to begin with. Improvisation ability scorecard. So are you ready? Are you able to improvise, take the improvise ability scorecard? So something along that lines. Are you ready to become a master gluten-free baker? Like it, it's good. Your communication style. Yeah, discover your communication style. And then you could just put a little bit more information about what the possible communication styles could be. How to treble your tender success rate. Yeah, sounds nice. Good hook. Are you ready to rebrand your business? Yeah, absolutely. Is your finance department functioning at its best? Yeah, and then, are you ready to discover if your finance department is functioning at its best? Take the high performing finance function scorecard. So something like that. Shrewd punter scorecard for football bettors. Okay, I'm definitely got no knowledge of football, but that sounds good. I'm also thinking the outcome would be best to not have a score for the gluten-free. Yep, so that could be exactly an outcome. Yeah. I want to help people, a scorecard to help people assess where they are and then give them solution, invite them to buy my audit. That would help them further. Okay, just needs a bit more information about what you're auditing there. Is your brand ready to scale? Yeah, absolutely. Superpower genius assessment. I like the idea of that one. The working with serious youth violence scorecard. So think headlines for that one. We'd need to have a little think about that. Does your teen have a mindset for exam success? Yes, that's a good one. I have a teenager. Current Is business funding scorecard currently live? Is business funding scorecard assessing your business readiness? Okay, yeah, that could be, I don't know, to me, the funding and then the business readiness are two different ideas, possibly. What kind of marketing is best for you? So it could be the marketing success scorecard, discover what kind of marketing is best for you. The inspirational Scrum Master scorecard. Is that a rugby one? I don't, possibly a little bit more information about that would be great. The working series, yeah, we've had will your website work well for your business in 2023? Yeah, is your website ready for 2023 for success? This one, I'm not going to read it out loud just because. Are you ready to? But we have honestly lots of different scorecards. And we do have ones in that kind of category. So absolutely relates to business IT team coaches. The term is taken from rugby though. Okay, well, if we just avoid using jargon. So as long as it's relatable to your target audience, absolutely. Are you giving your skin the care it deserves? Yeah, really like that one. Wow, we've got some amazing concepts and ideas. So thank you for sharing those. Really interesting to hear them all. Now we're going to jump into the platform and we're going to start building these scorecards, and we're going to talk about best practice as well. So if you haven't started yet, you will be asked when you get to the platform whether you want to choose a template or whether you want to start from scratch. If there is a template there that's closely related to your particular concept, then I would recommend going for that. And of course, you need to like it, the look and style of it as well, although that can be changed. If there isn't, then please don't feel overwhelmed by starting from scratch. We have got landing page templates and results page templates. So I would suggest going down that road if there's not a close example for you there. Whichever way you decide, once you get into the platform, it's the blue navigation bar on the left-hand side of the screen that we're going to start with, and we're going to start with the builder, which is the icon of the pencil and ruler. And that's where we're going to come in and work on some different elements. We're going to start on the landing page. So you will have a default landing page in your list if you've selected a template. If you haven't, you will still have a default page there in your list. What you can do is you can click on Create Landing Page. So if you've started without a template, you can see here that we've got further landing page structures that you could begin with if you like the look and style of one, because you can absolutely change colors, fonts, images. So everything's customizable. Or you could start without a template. So that's what I like to do, because I like a blank page, and then you can just add any different section type as desired. I'm going to open a version that I've got here already. And then once you've opened the landing page editor, it's just a case of getting all the sections that you would like in there. So we've got add a section here, and you can see that we've got different banner styles that you could select from. We've got different banners where you've got the form that will appear on the banner. We've got call to action sections, which will be to take the quiz. You could include testimonials on your landing page. You could talk about the categories that the scores will be broken down into. You could include a video if you wanted to. And then we've got other content sections here, which would explain how it works. You could use it to showcase the logos of the clients that you've worked with previously. So general content sections you will find here as well. So when you've found the particular section that you'd like, you can click on it and it will drop into your template. You can then hover over that particular section. You'll see some dots that allows you to pick it up and drag and drop it into position so you can move it around. If you've used a template and there's a particular section you don't want to use, then you can also hover over that. You can click on the eye, which will make it disappear, or you can actually go in and select remove to remove it completely. So once you've got your structure in place with all the section types that you'd like, you can click on the section and then you can start to customize it. So here I could update the headline, update the content, and then I can update the image as well. In terms of images, you can upload the images from your files, or you can search free images as well. If you click on the funnel, you can change from images to icons, which can be particularly useful if you're looking for category images, for example. So that we also have under each section type style. So if you click on that, that's where you're going to find your colors and other formatting options. So you could, for example, on this particular section, move that image to the left if you wanted to, and you can also squeeze the top and the bottom margin. So it's worth having a look at all the formatting options for that particular style. So I'm just going to come out of this here. You can see that I've got multiple landing pages in my list, which is possible. You do need to have one that's published and made default. So you've got those options here, but it may be that you've got some draft versions that you've started work on and you want to keep, so you add another one. So you can have as many in your list as you like, but you do need one that's published and made default. If you would like to see your scorecard, how it looks in live, you can click on this square box with the arrow pointing outwards. We are in draft mode here, which means only any admins for this particular scorecard will be able to see it. So it's not available in the public domain until you disable draft mode. The benefits of draft mode is that we can test it as many times as we like, and those responses won't be counted to your response limit. But as soon as you're ready to go, or you have anyone external, then you would need to remove that draft mode. So I'm going to click on the square box with the arrow pointing out, so we get to see what the landing page looks like. So yeah, we're happy with that. And one thing I also wanted to mention is you're going to be able to see what it looks like on desktop, but also on mobile. So you can change the view just to make sure that the formatting looks good in both previews as well. Now I want to talk about some best practice elements that we would like to see on the landing pages. And then hopefully, if anyone's got any examples, they'd be happy for us to bring up on the screen. We can go through them and just talk through how we could sort of optimize them. So landing page wise, clear, credible, and interesting copy. Many of you may have heard of a new tool called ChatGPT that has launched recently, and that is going to help this process a lot. And actually, I'm just going to delve into there a little bit and show you how it can help in a few moments. State the time investment. So how many questions, how long is it going to take them? So people know what to expect. And it could be that you have 12 questions in less than 2 minutes, and then you'll receive your score. And we'll come on to the recommended number of questions as we go through this webinar. Be clear on what it is that they will get from taking the scorecard. So I like to sometimes set the scene, how that person might be feeling, their situation they might be in at the moment, and how taking this quiz is going to help them. What's that ultimate benefit? So it's linking it to that goal. So if you want to become healthy, if you want to become efficient, then this scorecard is going to help you. Keeping your branding fluid. And that's from the landing page to the questions to the results page. So everything flows all the way through the scorecard. We recommend including information about yourself or the creators of the scorecard. It really helps to add that credibility. So for example, hi, I'm Leigh Simons. I've created this scorecard based on 10 years of running a successful quiz marketing business. Over this time, I've developed an award-winning methodology that I've translated in this tool to help people to become fantastic at quiz marketing. That was all ad lib off the top of my head. Testimonials. So if we recommend using testimonials on the landing page if they're linked to taking the scorecard. So, for example, Sarah from ScoreApp took this scorecard and it really gave her some great clarity exactly where she was at the moment and what she needed to focus on. And those results ended up with a fantastic quiz marketing tool. If you have any bonuses for taking the scorecard, then I would recommend you put those on the landing page. We see scorecards that have, give away a book for taking the scorecard or a chapter of the book, tickets to an event. So there's incentives there. Then I would recommend that you could talk about them on the landing page. And then the call to action on the landing page is to take the scorecard. What really works well in terms of a landing page is when it's all focused on the value. So when your target audience arrive at your landing page, it speaks to them. They know what it is. They know how it's going to help them. And it's all about what's in it for me. So I would avoid being sales orientated on the landing page and rather think of it as being sort of value orientated. Brilliant. Right. So has anyone got a landing page that they would be happy for me to bring up on the screen? If so, it would just be great if a free coffee voucher. Sorry, I've just noticed that in the chat. Absolutely, take the scorecard and have a coffee on us. That would be a good incentive. So if anyone's got a scorecard, it would just be the account name or the scorecard name, or even just popping the link in the chat. So hi Alistair, let's bring up yours. Thank you for sharing. Let's just move here. So is your finance team functioning at its best? Take our high performing finance team test to find out. Yeah, I like it. Sometimes I recommend just being wary of the word test, just because lots of people just are a bit wary of that particular word. So take our high performing finance team assessment to find out more, or if you want to have it more of a light-hearted tone, then it could be quiz. A high-performing finance is critical for a business to achieve outstanding results. Yep, so that's explaining the ultimate prize. The scorecard is designed to support your strengths. It takes just 2 minutes. So we take stating the time investment, it's free, and then you get your customized results instantly. So take the scorecard. So if you do call it assessment up here, then I would recommend aligning it with that. So it could be take the assessment. We've got the how it works, answer 6 yes/no questions in 3 different subjects, and in less than 2 minutes, you'll receive your current team score along with some ideas for optimizing your score in the future. Yep, nice little summary of how it works. You'll be scored on the following key areas to set you off on building your finance team to its best. So a little bit more about what we're going to be scored on. And then we've got the end of the day, finance leaders have to be proper storytellers. So we've got that final call to action. What I think would be great on here is information about who's created the scorecard. So just to associate it with the credibility. So I'd recommend putting a bit more on there. Also, I'd recommend putting a little bit more of a background in it on, how having that high performing team. So you've got this element here, but just to explain how a high-performing team can have a great positive impact on the business. That would be my advice. But yeah, some really good elements in there. Just those couple of bits are really going to help optimize that landing page further. Thank you for sharing that. So Joshua, let's just take a look here. I'm just going to put that one down now. So business funding scorecard. Our free assessment tool has been designed to provide tailored insights into how prepared your business is for funding. I like it. So it says exactly what it does. And the subheading as well describes exactly how it's going to help. You've got the option to have the data form on the page or as a pop-up. So this is something worth testing. So once you launched, because sometimes if it's high up and people haven't fully got through the whole landing page, haven't fully understood and sort of understood the benefits of it, then they might just think, oh, my details are required. So it could be a potential barrier, worth testing both as you go along. So we're experts at facilitating best fit finance for SMEs. Take the scorecard and discover if you and your business are ready to unlock your potential. Receive your current score and tailored recommendations. Who we are. It's a UK-based business help them start, grow, acquire, having funded over 3 with a variety of financial solutions. We are confident in helping business. Yeah, I really like it. You could add a little bit about why you've created this tool. So just to link it to how your expertise has led you to create this tool to help other people. You've got your credibility there with your logos, which is nice. It's free and uncover your business finance now. Don't just take our word for it, see what others have to say. I would recommend help me. So this is a case where the testimonials, so it's good to have testimonials. The best practice for testimonials is to have them related to how that scorecard has helped them. Otherwise, testimonials like these, I feel, work better on the results page. So once someone's come through the landing page, got the questions, got the results, and then you start to showcase who you are as a business, all about your expertise as well. So we've got some really good elements in there. Business funding scorecard. I like it. I like the headline. We've got the how it works. So yeah, I think that's a good job. We've got the credibility. Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Okay, let's do one more. So we've got here. I think that one's going to log me into the platform because that's a link to the platform. So let's just, I'm just going to quickly search your name, Eric, see if I can find it here. Okay, the cloud scorecard. How ready is your business to migrate to the cloud? Answer 15 easy questions about your current environment and plans, and we'll send you a cloud readiness report. Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that's missing from that is the fact that you're going to get a score. People do like to get their scores. It adds that extra sort of hook. So how ready is your business to migrate to the cloud? Discover your score, answer 15 easy questions, discover your score, and we'll send you a personalized report. Hi, this scorecard has been designed to highlight for IT managers, project managers, decision makers, and explaining the blind spot and how to improve. To highlight in the early stages of planning a cloud migration. Yeah, so that's clarifying who it's for, how it's going to help them. Have we got any information about maybe cloud migration, the benefits of that? That would be really good, just to speak to those people a little bit more, you know, talking about the issues that they may be facing or the desires that they may be looking for. We've been working with global brands since. I'm not sure if that would possibly work better on a white background, just color wise. Answer 15 easy questions about your current environment and plans, and we'll send you a cloud readiness report. So information there would be information about yourself again, a little bit more about the benefits, I would say, of migrating to cloud, you know, and the situation sort of at the moment, so who it could appeal to, so who's it for, how is this going to help me? So that kind of information I would like to see a little bit more of in that landing page.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Right, so before we move on from landing pages, I wanted to show you ChatGPT. I'm not sure if any of you have joined. We've run some webinars, and we're running another one tomorrow specifically actually about using ChatGPT. Because this can help massively with generating ideas and for building your quiz. So here I've entered this bit of questions earlier just so I could be prepared. So it can even help when you come to that, developing a headline. So here I've entered quiz headlines to test how confident we feel about money. And it's given me some examples. Here, this one, I then defined it a little bit further. So what quiz headlines could I use for a money confidence quiz? And it came up with some really nice ideas. So how well do you understand your personal finances? Test your knowledge of budgeting and saving techniques. Are you financially literate? So it can be really useful for generating ideas, and it is really cool. And for the last week or so, I've been using it to help me build scorecards, and it really does take a lot of the sort of legwork away. It gives you those ideas that you can make your own. So I would recommend using it. Here, I've put what are the benefits of taking a money confidence quiz, and this could form the introduction part on the landing page. So if you'd like an increased self-awareness, if you'd like to be able to improve your decision-making, if you'd like to reduce stress. So it's just meeting people with where they're at the moment and talking about how this quiz might help them. It can even help with the results as well. For example, we're going to come on to questions in a minute. So I might come back to ChatGPT and we'll ask it for some suggestions for potential questions that we could use as well. Okay, so navigating back to our slides, I just want to talk about questions. Where have my slides gone? Here we go. So I get asked a lot how many questions we recommend, and it's different based on your target audience for your scorecard. If it's a cold lead scorecard, we would recommend fewer questions. So around 1 or 2 categories and around 8 to 15 questions. If it's for warmer leads, then 3 to 7 categories with between 20 to 50 questions. And you may be using it for onboarding, for example, or with existing clients. And then the sky's the limit in terms of the information that you need to capture. So jumping back to the platform, we can now move on to questions. And we can start by adding some categories. Now, you don't have to use categories. If you use categories, it will present a score not only overall, but against each category as well. So it's quite nice if there's some obvious areas that you would like to score your target audience on. In this particular case, it's a wellbeing performance scorecard. So exercise, sleep, stress, they're all really super relevant categories to the target audience that will allow them to go, oh, fantastic. Actually, I'm doing all right in my sleep, but I really need to focus on managing my stress, and I need to be a little bit better in my exercise as well. So that's how I would recommend you think about the categories. Entering the platform is quite straightforward. Add category, give it a name. Don't worry about the description unless that will be an available merge field if you did want to use that later on in the results page. Then once you have your categories plugged in, if you're using them, you can go in, you've got 2 different views, and you can add the questions underneath the relevant category. When you go to add questions, you can see the different question formats that we have. Yes, no, maybe, we've got scales, and we've got multiple choice and open text. In terms of scoring, for example, yes, no, maybe, if your question was, do you sleep more than 8 hours a night? If they answered yes, that's the positive answer. So I would award it a point. If they answered no, that's the negative answer. I wouldn't give them any points. And it can be as straightforward as that if you're using yes, no questions. Do they deserve the point? Do they get the point? The other ones are scales. So for example, the scale I could make however big I'd like it to be. If I make it a 1 to 10 scale, that means that there's 10 points available. And wherever the user places them on that scale is how many points they've achieved. So if I choose position 5, I've got 5 out of the possible 10 points. If I do multiple choice, and the multiple choice buttons is really nice. They just get to click on the answer and then they'll go straight to the next question. And here I could write, how many hours do you sleep? And if it's less than 6, they don't get any points. But then I might have 7 hours and I might give them a point. And if they say 8+ hours, then, and I didn't spell hours correctly there, but they would get 2 points. So I'd award points in terms of the strength of the answer. You do have multiple choice checkboxes on there, which is the correct format to use if you'd like them to pick more than one answer from the list. You're able to set a minimum and maximum option count there. And then the last question type is your open text. So that's great for gathering more information, but that's not a scored question. That's really just for data purposes. So once you've added all your questions, the scoring will work by adding up the total amount of points possible and also per category. So in exercise, if I had 10 points across all of my questions available, it will work out what that user scored. And if they scored 5 out of 10, it converts it to a percentage, and then it decides what score tier it falls into based on the percentage ranges that you have entered here. So if you go to results and score tiers, you can see those percentage ranges. You can add tiers, you can change the labels. So some people like to, tailor those. So it's like low burnout risk, high burnout risk, needs improvement, great job. And the default percentage ranges, you can change those as well to suit you. But that's how the scoring is worked out. Does anybody have any particular technical questions or about scoring? Please feel free to just unmute and ask away, or we can come back to questions at the end as well. No, fab. Okay, so let's just go back quickly to ChatGPT, and I'm new to this, so this is a little bit I hope it delivers what I want it to deliver. But I'm going to say, write potential questions to assess someone's fitness levels. Let's go for that. Okay, great. And then it's going to present with me some ideas. So it can take a lot of the legwork out of writing a scorecard. So I definitely recommend that you use this tool. It's going to make your life a lot easier, help you with those ideas, to help you create your scorecard. It worked, hooray. Fab, right. Questions. Now we've done the questions, we are going to move on to delivering results. So I'm going to come back to my particular example that I had here. I've just come off it. So here we go. So now we can go to the builder and we can go to the results. If you're on the SaaS package, the results output is the results page, and you will, if you've got a template, you'll have a version in there already. If not, you've started from scratch, then if you click on create results page, you can see different ways that you could start to build your results page. So something like this one here is what we would typically see. So I'm just going to select that one. You can give it a name. And then we have our overall score. We can have a look at our score in the categories, and then we can put some content that says thank you for taking the test, and just summarize how they scored overall. Here, I've clicked on the overall score section, and if I enable dynamic content, that's going to open up the score tiers. So I can put different versions of content in there based on which score tier they fell into. And that is what we would recommend as best practice, to say, congratulations, you've scored really well, or don't worry if your score isn't where you'd like it to be. This is exactly, why you're here. And, we can start to please look at your scores below and take take in the advice that's presented. You've then got the categories and the scores in each categories, which you can also make dynamic. So you can describe the category, acknowledge their score, and then start to give some hints and tips about what they can do to improve their score. So the results page is where your target audience get the clarity. They get some direction, and it's your opportunity to start showcasing that you understand where people are and showcasing how you can help them going forward. You have got different ways of presenting these scores. So if you go to add a section, you can see on the results section, you could present it as a percentage, donut charts, spider diagrams, a speedometer, and we've got this new thermometer as well. I don't think I've actually seen the thermometer on a scorecard just yet, because it's so new. So it'd be lovely to see more of those coming through as well. And then you've got your different ways of presenting categories. So you've got 3 different styles there that you can choose from. So once you've given them the scores, you've given the information, you're going to want to add your call to action. So again, if you go to add a section, you've got various call to actions. What we typically see as call to actions are discovery calls. We see offers to join a waiting list. We see downloading, joining a community, for example. So there's lots of options there. This is where you would include, if any bonuses, you can put the links in there so people can access their bonuses. So this particular one is offering a discovery call, and your Calendly link, for example, could go into that button link box as well. You could add more to this page. You could add the testimonials that start talking about your business. So you can build that template and customize just like we did on the landing page. So just make sure you've got this published and set to default, and then that will be connected with your scorecard. This is the output of the starter package. So what will happen when someone's completed the questions is that they will see this page, they will get their advice, and then the platform will fire off an email. So it's called result email. Just make sure the toggle's switched on, with a link back to their results. So they get to keep it and refer to it. So you can customize this results email as well. If you are on the advanced package upwards, then you might also want to develop a PDF report. So in that case, the results page might become a snapshot, and you might push them towards the full results in the PDF report. When you come to the PDF, you could click on Create PDF Report. You've got 3 different templates there, which you could start with. I'd recommend starting without a template, because all of the different pages are available, and I shall show you. I'm not going to go into great detail on building the PDF, because I'm aware that there'll be people on different package levels, but I just wanted to show you in terms of the pages that are available. So if you go to add a page, you can see that you've got 3 different front cover styles, and you could start to build the structure. So you might want to then have an intro page. You would then go in and describe their overall score, show them how they scored in each category, and delve into each individual category. So giving them a description, how they scored, and then tips to improve their score. You've got call to action pages and then summary pages as well. You can make it as big as or small as you like. All of the pages are dynamic. So you can tailor based on the score tier that they fell into. Again, make sure it's published and set to default. And then when you get your results email, you could swap, you could click on your merge field option and just make sure you're mapping your report button onto that results email. So they've got their results. You can access the leads from your leads area on your blue toolbar. You can also integrate with a CRM system. So should you you can push all the data across into your CRM, and then that allows you to plan some tailored follow-up sequences. So you can see all of the available integrations. If yours isn't here as a direct integration, Zapier acts as a bridge for many different platforms. So my feel is that it would be available via Zapier. Also, once you have launched, if you come to your insights area, this is going to show you how many visitors have arrived at your landing page. If you're using the ScoreUp landing page, how many have gone on to start, and that will give you a conversion rate. So we often get asked, what is a good conversion rate? We would like to see this tracking at least above 20%, and we do have scorecards that are operating above 50%. So in the early days, especially, it's a great idea just to check in on that conversion rate. You can make tweaks to your scorecard. You can optimize at any time as you're learning more about how it's performing. You've also got this share feature. So this will talk you through embedding your scorecard onto your website and give you some options. You've also got this share appearance, which is quite nice. This controls the way it looks once it's shared on social media platforms. So again, if you go to the builder settings and share appearance, you can give it a title, a description, and an image, and that will be the way it's displayed on social media. So I would advise doing that as well. If you're on our starter package, you can optimize the URL by coming to settings in general. At the very beginning, you will have your name and a code, which you can customize to make relevant to the quiz or your company, and it will have .scoreup.com on the end. If you're on the advanced package upwards, you also have the option of organizing a custom domain name. So for that, you would come to your account, click on domains, and you would add the domain here. So that would need to be a subdomain of your main domain. And then you just need to go to your DNS provider and point the CNAME record towards dns.scoreup.net. And then that will be connected and you'll be able to switch it on for your scorecard. Okay, I would love to just, if anyone's happy to share their results page, I think that would be really useful just to go through a results page. ChatGPT is going to be super helpful in writing your results. You can type in, what would you say to someone who scored low on a money confidence quiz? Provide some tips to help somebody. So there's lots of opportunities to get a helping hand from ChatGPT. I have noticed that. So Alison, with that domain question, yep, absolutely, we will help you. If you want to stay on the call afterwards or ask your particular question, we'll just finish up, or one of our team will reach out for you. I'm just going to make a note of your name there. Okay, brilliant. So we've got so Alistair, brilliant. Thanks for sharing. Let's type that in and bring up your results page. It was the high performing finance team, wasn't it? I remember that one. Yeah. So let's go to results. Just going to take over there. So thank you for taking the Are You a High Performing Finance Team? So that's pulling in the merge field there. You'd be able to click and see the available merge fields that you could use. Sometimes if the name of the scorecard, you do need to tweak that a little bit there. Are you a high performing? So thank you for taking the Are you a high performing finance team? So just a duplicate there. So we just need a little tweak. We've got dynamic content. No, we haven't got the dynamic content enabled there yet, Alistair. So looks like so that's going to be displayed to everybody. So I would turn that on and then make sure that bit is in the low area, and then you're going to be able to put something different into the mid tier and the high tier. You have been scored based on the following key areas, and then they've got their score in each area. So you've got your low, medium, and this is quite nice. So you've got low here, a great area for improvement. Medium, you've got some room for improvement. So sometimes the advice isn't massively different, but it's sort of acknowledging their score. And generally, when someone scores high, the advice, that's when it would start to get a little bit different, because you're pushing for that next level. So it looks nice. How much insight do you have from sales, receivables, and payables? We have this is an important area of focus. So I would say here is just to give a little bit more like advice, that how they could, something that they can take away to start actioning or thinking about, and that's going to add value and sort of credibility. So you give them a little bit of information, but obviously leave them sort of wanting more, and hopefully then that will encourage them to take the next step. So want to learn more, contact us, call us on, or click the button below to send us an email. So if you're going to put in an email window for anyone that doesn't, the button text here, you would write mail to, and then the email address. Book a deep dive into your results today. We'd be delighted to take you through your answers in the scorecard and also advice, improving your team effectiveness. So this is the area that I would really sort of highlight, and I would have it as a section by itself. So making that sort of stand out, you know, how much value they will get from the session, having an image, a little bit, just making that a little bit more pop, a little bit more would be a great idea. So good structure, just needs some, I think, a little bit more of the information coming through, and showcasing exactly sort of what you can do to help these people. But thank you so much for sharing that. It's really helpful. Okay, before I open to questions, I want to talk about promotion. So once you've created this great scorecard, you need to drive traffic towards it. We've got a great article which Sarah will share called 29 different ways to promote your scorecard. I'm going to cover some of them now. So I'm just going to open my slides. And then we can jump into that. Just can't move my, there we go. Right, set up. So here we go. So having it on, embedding it on your website is really important. So it's a great way that might just capture those details of exactly who's arriving at your site. That's going to add some value and start a relationship between yourselves. Email signature, you could have a, you know, your name, your contact details, your link to your scorecard. It's basically anything that leaves your office, the call to action or the link to your scorecard, we'd advise featuring it. Emailing your existing database. So you might have a list that it would be great to sort of put some content out to them just to reignite any potential relationships there. You could direct message it to people. Social media is a really useful tool for promoting your scorecards. We would recommend that you post about it regularly, but you can also use it as the call to action in other posts as well. Definitely have it in all your profile information on your social media accounts. If you do any podcasts, videos, blogs, then the scorecard makes a great call to action for those. If you have a book, we've seen lots of success from authors who put the link to their scorecard in their book, and it just helps them to know exactly who's, you know, gather data about who's been engaging with the book and take them on that journey. Events and workshops, scorecards work really nicely for those. So again, check out that event template if that's something of interest to you. These are all sort of organic methods. You've then got paid for advertising. So that could be on any of the social channels, which are relevant and accessible for your target audience. And then you've got joint venture partnerships as well. So if you've got any relationships where you can leverage their list for mutual exchange, for example, then that can work really nicely to get your scorecard out there. But these are top line ideas. Please check out the 29 different ways to promote your scorecard. So that's the first element, the strategy to drive traffic. The second element is the scorecard itself, and then the third element is that follow-up campaign. So that's where you're integrating with CRMs can come in. That can be your strategy for following up on the leads. It may be that you've included the phone number field in there. It may be that you have a team of appointment setters that will be able to use the data collected from the scorecard to have that initial sales conversation. It may be that your ongoing communication is highly personalized because you know a lot more about them. You know where they are, and you can make that ongoing journey sort of targeted and relevant. So that brings the presentation to a close. I'm happy to sort of answer any questions. Do appreciate we're at time. So if you need to go, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you've got something out of this webinar. Please feel free to contact us at any point, support@scoreapp.com. We've got a live chat feature. We'll be more than happy to sort of help you. We do offer calls as well. So if there's anything that you'd like further support with, just give us a shout. Anyone that has got any question, please feel free to sort of take your mic off. I'll be happy to answer it. Has anybody got any questions? Ooh, no? Oh, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining us today. And yeah, hope your scorecards go well. Take care. Have a nice day, everyone.